Yo, what's up, TCC, ORU, and TU? This is Samson back for another episode of The Fitting Room, and I'm super excited because we have a good friend in the house today who's going to be sharing a little bit of her story. And so I'm gonna let her introduce herself to y'all. Go ahead, girl, tell us.
Hello, my name is Isabelle. I'm a student at TCC. Um, I'm 20 years old. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And yeah, thank you for having me.
Solid, solid. And what's your major?
Nursing. Nursing.
Nursing. That's what's up. That's what's up on the nursing journey.
hmm
And now we're gonna ask the question: how did you get here? How tell us your journey. Tell us a little bit of your story.
Okay. So my mom is actually a nurse as well. So I've always kind of had that inspiration from her. And ever since I was little, I've always wanted to do nursing. I didn't really know what college I wanted to go to, maybe until senior year. I'm doing my prereqs here at TCC, and then I'll be transferring to Rogers State in the fall for the nursing program.
Hey, right. That's what's up. That's what's
Yeah.
up. I feel like that's a lot of people's kind of experience
hmm
where like you may kind of know what you want to do, but where to go to do it is always a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely different. Um, Financially, I guess
Yeah,
TCC was the best option for me coming out of high school, and so yeah,
that's
it
what's
was
up.
just
And
yeah.
is Tulsa, Oklahoma, is that home for you?
hmm
Like this has been your
Yeah.
spot for a while.
Yeah, for a long time.
No, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that your mom influenced you a lot with the
hmm
nursing direction. And so I guess I'm curious to know because you mentioned that even before that, that you kind of always wanted to be a nurse. And so did that
hmm
all come from your mom, or was there portions and pieces that kind of were also part of your personality and
I
other
think
things?
so. I think I've always kind of had like a caring personality ever since I was little. But I do remember at um, Tulsa Adventist Academy, we had career day in like kindergarten, and I dressed up as a nurse. And like ever since then, I was just like, yep, that's the path for me. So yeah, my mom definitely influenced me a lot, and she would. I mean, a lot of her friends were nurses, so they influenced me as well. They're just really nice people, so just wanted to be kinda like them.
No, that's really cool, and I love the fact that you mentioned in kindergarten dressing up
Yeah,
as a nurse. You're
that's
like,
like a very vivid memory of mine.
yeah, it's like I forgot so much stuff from kindergarten. It's all
Yeah.
like, nah, one thing I remember from kindergarten is dressing up like that nurse.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so, so your mom influenced a lot of kind
Mhm,
of the journey with being a nurse, and now you're here
mhm,
kind of embarking on that journey. Do you feel like there's other things that maybe your mom maybe instilled in you or that has inspired you that has like on this
mhm.
journey as well, other than just the
Nurse
major and
yeah.
degree?
Um, I think a lot of people think that just because my mom was a nurse, that that's why I wanted to do it.
Mhm.
That is a big portion of it, but also I think that profession is just it feels right to me. Like, I like taking care of people. I like,
Mhm.
helping people, and I feel like it would just be good for me. I also wanna do pediatrics. I
Ooh.
wanna specialize in pediatrics, so I've always been around kids. I've babysat multiple times for multiple families. Um, I've just always loved it. Loved caring for people and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's cool. It sounds like you saw your mom in this nursing field and maybe
Mhm,
she have shared with you stories and experiences, but it also sounds like you've seen maybe your mom even care for people and some of
mhm.
that got impressed upon you
Yeah,
growing up.
for sure. Yeah, my mom is always everybody, like, in my family always calls her when there's something. Um So I'd like to do that someday too, because I'm the only one of like my generation in my family that's studying something medical. So I
Mhm.
feel like, for like my generation of that family, I'll be like my mom's place. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, 100%, 100%. And just for those that are listening, I just got to throw this in there just because I got to.
Yeah.
So Isabel's actually a friend of mine, and so we've connected several times at
Mhm.
church, family. So I know her mom. Awesome stuff. And I just want to tell y'all that she has come through for me in so many situations. So it's very valid what you're saying,
Mhm.
and I thank you for the times you did come through
Yeah,
for me,
for
and
sure.
also just hearing your heart
Mhm.
and knowing and seeing the heart of your mom and family and stuff too. So that's really cool. Okay, so you're coming down to the wire of making decisions
Mhm.
for, okay, where am I going to actually go
Mhm.
to start embarking on this journey? And what was that process like? Did you have like, 50 different colleges in your head? Like, man, do I leave state? Do I stay in state? Do I go here? Do I go there? Tell me a little bit
Yeah.
about that wrestling process.
Okay, so all of my friends went to Adventist universities.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some at Southwestern in Texas, and then I have some at Southern in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of pulled in different directions. Everybody wanted me to go everywhere else. I always knew I wanted to stay here. I like being around my family, especially my grandma.
Yeah.
So um, if I was to go somewhere, I'd probably take her with me.
No, 100%.
So here was always, yeah, home, and I always wanted to be here. TCC kind of, I started thinking about it maybe my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Junior year, I did Epic Charter Schools online. And so I did do like concurrent enrollment through Oklahoma Christian.
Okay.
So I did a few classes there. So I was able to finish my associates a little faster after doing those. So that
Hey.
was nice. I did have a lot of colleges reach out to me. There was a lot of emails, a lot of mail, phone calls as well.
Come on. Come
And it
on.
was just a little crazy. It was a little overwhelming, for sure, to think about where you're going to spend the next 4 years, I guess, and where you're going to study and scholarships and finances and stuff like that. It was definitely a lot to process, especially because I didn't know like how exactly my parents were going to help me out through it. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know, like, do I ask them like to pay for my college, or is that something I'm supposed to do on my own?
Yeah.
Like completing FAFSA and scholarships and all that stuff. So yeah, it was very interesting. Rogers State kind of, I wanted to go there. I toured there my senior year of high school,
Mm-hmm.
and I really loved the campus. Like, I loved it. My mom even thought about like maybe, like living on campus.
Mhm.
And but just financially, I think TCC was the best way to go.
Yeah.
And I don't regret it at all. I love TCC. I love coming here. I've made a lot of good friends. So,
Hey.
but I'm excited for RSU for sure. So,
No, that's what's up. That's what's
mhm,
up. And, you know, I sense that a lot of people probably felt this way coming into
mhm,
college, like all of these options,
for
places to
sure.
go. But it's really cool to see how you kind of realize, like, no, this heart that you
Mhm.
had from kind of the
Yeah.
beginning, right? This nurse heart, this
Mhm.
caretaker heart, like friends were drawing you out of state, but that nurse
Yeah.
heart was kind of
Stay here.
grounding you
Yeah.
here in Tulsa. Like, no, I don't want to be far from
Mhm.
family. I want to be close by. And so sometimes in the great noise
Mhm.
of all these colleges
Yeah.
reaching out, you have to figure out, okay, what's the path to actually
Mhm.
go? Like, what school is
Yeah.
it that I should go to? So I kind of got the picture of like going to Roger State and kind of like, okay, you visited
Mhm.
the campus, it felt right, things felt
Mhm.
right, but then it felt like the avenue to go through TCC. What was like the final kind of like, I don't know, moment or situation where you're like, okay, committing to TCC, and then after
Mhm.
I'm going to Rogers? Like, what was that moment? You're
Yeah.
like, okay, it's happening.
Um, Finances, I think, for sure. TCC was a lot like cheaper than going to a university.
Hmm.
And I would have done my whole degree here, but they only offer associates in nursing, and I want my bachelor's.
Yeah.
Just because I would like to later on maybe go back for nurse practitioner.
Come on.
So I just wanted to like skip getting my associates and go straight to the bachelor's, kind of.
Yeah.
So I got my associates in science in December. So I finished all my prereqs. Right now I'm just retaking a course to kind of up. I had to up some stuff for my RSU
Oh,
application.
100%.
Um, but yeah, TCC. I kind of knew I wanted to come here. I'd always seen it, and like I had a couple friends that came here, but we just had different paths, so we didn't end up taking any classes together.
Mhm.
But yeah, and it's local, so
Nah,
it
that's
was
real.
nice.
Was TCC blowing up your phone? Were they
Not
blowing you up?
really.
They were like they were
That's
low
probably
key.
what I got so attracted by. They weren't like calling and emailing me and stuff,
Hey,
but
come on, that's hilarious. But that's real.
yeah.
Like, yeah, you have all these, it's funny. So right before we started recording this podcast, I actually got a phone call from a university because I showed like a little bit of interest in their doctoral
Mhm.
program, and they're like, "Yo, let's get that man." And so now they're like calling and blowing up my phone all the time, and it's like, I don't actually feel like I want to go there anymore. And so I feel like it has that impact or
Yeah.
that effect, and so no, that's cool. So you're
Mhm.
on that journey. You're kind of navigating stuff, figuring
Mhm.
stuff out, and you're here at TCC, planning to go to RSU,
Mhm.
Rogers State University.
Mhm.
Solid. So tell me, what's happening in life right now? Like, what's taking place right now? What are some challenges, some positive things that are happening in life currently?
Um, so I was actually supposed to start the nursing program this semester.
Hmm.
I had applied last summer for the spring of 2024 because I had already planned on finishing all my prereqs, getting my associates in December, and I would have been able to transfer. And I got waitlisted. And that was very difficult for me because I had like finished a year early or a semester early. So I was like, okay, I really want this to happen. Then I reapplied for fall and they responded really quick. Like it kind of scared me. Like I got the email. It was like a Friday morning and I
Hmm.
got the email and I saw it like at 8 a.m. and I was like, I'm not going to open that. Like I was really scared that it was going to be another like waitlist. Like,
Yeah.
so I just was like, I'm not going to open it. I'm going to go to work and like not think about it. Um, and so then like later that day, like I had been praying all day and I was like, if this is what you want from me right now, like just show it to me. If not, then we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So, I ended up going to dinner with my family that night and we got home and I told my mom and I was like, I got an email today. And she was like, give me your phone. And she opened it and I was like, oh my gosh. And she was like, the first thing she said was, thank you, God. Like, thank you, Jesus. And I mean, we both started crying. Like, we were both just so excited. She was on the phone with my grandma. My grandma's like, I told you, like, she would get in. So that was really, it was nice. It was really
Come on.
good. It felt really good because I knew, like, that's where he wanted me. Like,
Yeah.
that's definitely, it felt like he was there,
Hmm.
Like, he was telling me what to do and leading me. So I knew that this path was, he had it all planned out, even though, I was hurt the first time I got rejected or whatever. But, um, it's all his plan, so it was good.
Yeah. No, that's cool. And I love that I thank you for sharing the
Mhm.
whole like that whole challenge because it's a challenge and a
Yeah,
blessing, right?
for
Like this is
sure.
like if we would have been recording this like
Mhm.
6 months ago or however long, it's like
Yeah.
still in the
Mhm.
balances. But you
Yeah.
shared with us the challenge, you shared with us a blessing.
Mhm.
I feel like there's a lot of people who apply for a program or apply to
Mhm.
get into something and they get denied
Mhm.
and that discouragement actually ends up
Yeah,
defeating them and
for
they
sure.
don't even press forward. And so
Mhm.
I'm just curious of like what was it that you were like, I'm reapplying. Like I'm gonna do this again.
Um, Probably my family. Yeah. They've always been very supportive of me going to school and stuff. And I didn't really tell that many people when I got waitlisted. I
Mhm.
mean, when I read the email that I got waitlisted, I was at work.
Wow.
And so, I mean, like, I'm really close to like my manager and my coworkers and stuff. So I told them, and I mean, they were just like, well, it's okay, like, just apply next semester and, you'll be fine. And like, my boyfriend took me out that day and he was like, you'll be fine. Like, everything will work out. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, so but reapplying, I definitely put it off till last minute. Like I submitted it the night before it was due, and
Yeah.
I was like, because I was just like, if it doesn't happen again, I'm gonna be like devastated. Like,
Yeah.
um, so I was definitely very very nervous for it, but I I had my heart set on going there. I didn't apply to any other colleges for the nursing program. I had like OSU and OU reach out to me, but
Mhm.
I just knew I wanted to be at Rogers State for some I don't know why. It's just, like, that's always been in the back of my head. So
Yeah. And I feel like it
Mhm.
makes sense too because you are Roger State is close by
Mhm.
to the family, so it has that
Yeah.
component, but also you've been on the campus and you've,
Mhm.
seen,
For sure.
interacted, your family's like, "Yo, this is a spot."
Yeah.
You feel encouraged, inspired, right? Like it just I get
Yeah.
that, And so it's really cool to see that you had a good support system around you that
Mhm.
encouraged you to keep going,
For sure.
keep pressing through.
Yeah. I did take one class at Rogers State last semester, so fall. It's like a prereq that they require that they have to take through um Rogers State. So it was like an intro
Mhm.
to nursing. And I really loved that class. Like, you get to like practice, like they had like a lab, and
Yeah.
so it felt really real. Like I knew that that was the building that I was gonna be in, like,
Mhm.
and I really liked the teacher that I had. She was great. And the students too. I actually had a friend that she did get accepted and she was
Wow.
like waiting, like she would text me and she'd be like, "Hey, have you heard back?" And I text her as soon as I found out too. So it's good to have like a friend that is going through the first semester right now, and so when I go through it, she'll kind of have, like, some tips maybe,
Yep.
hopefully, for me.
Yep.
So, yeah, and that class too kind of pushed me to apply again because I was like, I didn't wanna take that class for nothing, like,
Mhm.
I definitely wanted to go there, and taking that class kind of showed me that I really did wanna go there.
Yeah,
Mhm,
and, I recently like I was telling you
mhm,
earlier, not necessarily on the podcast, but, like, when we were offline, I was sharing how I just recently finished my master's,
mhm.
and we had to do a capstone project, which basically is
Yeah,
like, look over the course of what you've learned here over your
mhm,
own life and create something, and you had to, like, one of the options was an ebook, so I went the ebook
mhm,
route, and I wrote this ebook on like the art of failure.
mhm,
And so the whole premise behind it was basically treating failure as like a friend
mhm.
and like continuing to press through it. And so
Yeah,
one of the kind of points is like fail until you can't.
mhm.
Like there does come a point where it's all like, yo,
Yeah,
I can't fail at this point. Like
mhm.
like for example, you retake a class 10 times, there's gonna come a
Yeah.
point where like no matter how hard you try, like, you're gonna
Yeah.
pass that class. Like,
Mhm,
no matter how hard you try, you can't fail that class
mhm.
because you've been through it so many
Yeah.
times, and so it's this idea of, like, fail until you can't, like, keep going, keep applying,
Mhm,
keep showing up, and it's really cool that you and I'm only saying this because I know
mhm.
people who,
Yeah.
one time and they're defeated, like,
Mhm.
"I'm done,"
For sure.
and I know friends who have gone through nursing programs and they
Mhm.
didn't make it the first, second
Yeah.
time, third time. But it kinda goes back to what you're saying, where they had a good family, a good
Mhm.
core group who encouraged them and pressed them
Mhm.
all, so it's cool to see
Mhm.
that in your own life.
Yeah. It's really cool, for sure. Yeah.
Now that's hype, that's hype. Alright, sweet. So, tell us a little bit about where you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years, 20 I'll let you decide all that, but where do you see yourself when it comes to the future? What is it that
Mhm.
you wanna do, accomplish, do in the world, have
Yeah.
whatever?
Um, so after I finish my bachelor's, I'd like to work for a while. Um, I kinda wanna do hospital, maybe NICU nurse, something like that, or pediatric. I would like to work at, like, a pediatric office.
Oh, yeah.
Um, After that, hopefully I'll be married by then.
Hey, I
And
think she's
then
dropping some hits for the boyfriend. No, I'm joking.
um, and then I would like to go back for nurse practitioner. Um, I believe there's only TU that offers nurse practitioner. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really looked into it yet. I'm just kind of focusing on
Yeah,
bachelor's first, and then later on we'll get to that. But
makes sense, makes
um,
sense.
yeah,
Do you see yourself, like, staying around this area for a while too?
yeah, probably. Yeah, I really
No,
like it here. So, mhm,
that's what's up, that's what's up. What is it about you mentioned the whole continuing education
mhm,
and going further, and it sounds like something that's important to you because
mhm,
you're like, "I'm not doing the associates because I wanna do the
yeah,
bachelor's because I may want to." It's like you're
yeah.
prepping yourself. What is it about, like, that kind of future education that intrigues you or that kind of moves you and you're like, "Yo, I'm
Mm,
kinda interested in this."
yeah. So I've met a few nurse practitioners. I've worked with a couple. I did some community service at a community clinic in Collinsville,
Mhm.
and it's run by nurse practitioners, and they're women, and they were
Hey.
really cool. I mean, they let me like shadow them and go in with them and stuff, and it was really cool to see like where their degree got them, I guess.
Mhm.
So, I mean, they were able to prescribe medication and do more than like an RN would be able to do, but still kind of under like less responsibility than a doctor, but more responsibility than a nurse,
Yeah.
you know? So I thought that was really cool and they can open their own practice. I would like to open my own practice, maybe.
Hey, turn
So,
up, turn up.
yeah,
That's what's up.
that, yeah. After meeting them, I definitely, like, I had always kind of known I had some of my mom's friends became nurse practitioners and they tell my mom to go back. I tell my mom to go back.
Mm.
Um, and maybe after my brother's out of school, she'll go back. But I told her to go with me. Maybe we'll go together.
Hey, that's what I'm
um,
talking about.
but yeah, I think that would be really cool to um have my own business maybe.
Mhm.
I've always seen like my nursing degree has always been like top priority for me, but I've also seen it as kind of like if I decided to like do kind of entrepreneurship and
Mhm.
make a business or do something like that like independent, that nursing would always be like a fallback for me. Like I would
Mm.
always like appreciate it and have it and I would love to work as a nurse, but like I would also want to incorporate some like business into it. So,
Oh, that's what's
yeah.
oh, dang, she hit I didn't even see that coming. She's like, "Yo, I want a little business side
Mhm.
on it too." No, that's cool,
Yeah.
and I think what makes it cool or the and this is kind of like what I'm seeing from
Mhm.
all that you've shared, which is it sounds like your mom was like a great inspiration for
Mhm.
you and also a great maybe like cheerleader,
Mhm.
like coach, mentor, like she was
For
there to
sure.
kind of push you forward. And it sounds like you're as you're getting older and
Mhm.
growing and filling into this kind of nurse
Yeah.
role that you're doing that same thing for her where you're
Mhm.
saying like, "Yo, mom, there's some stuff in you that can continue to develop
For
too,"
sure.
and motivating her. Like, just the
Yeah.
image of you and your mom going to school together is so
Mhm.
beautiful of
Yeah.
like, "Yo, we're gonna push each other
Mhm.
through this whole thing." And so
Yeah.
anyways, I think that's really cool to see too,
Mhm.
and it sounds like these nurse
Mhm.
practitioners that you worked with in Collinsville
Mhm.
were really good at being an inspiration to you as
For
well and
sure.
showing you the
Mhm.
possibility of what can be.
Yeah. And I still I mean, I haven't worked there since I was a senior maybe. Um, but I mean, we fill scripts for them and
Mhm.
so I mean, there's always like connections, you know.
Yeah.
And so I love like I see the patients that I saw there at my work.
Mhm.
And so it's really nice to know that like we're still helping, you know?
100%.
Yeah. So, mhm.
No, that's what's up. That's
Yeah.
what's up. It's really cool to sit down and kinda hear your
Mhm.
story, your journey, and yeah, I can't wait to see how it continues to develop, homie.
Mhm.
Is dope. If there was maybe somebody on the other line, they're
Mhm.
listening in, and maybe they're a freshman, maybe sophomore, or they could be at any stage in life,
Yeah.
but they're looking to get into a program. Maybe they're a
Mhm.
little nervous. They're oh man, I don't know, or maybe they tried to get in one time and
Mhm.
they stopped after that. Do you have anything that you want to say to just kind of encourage that person on their journey?
Yeah. Don't lose faith. There's always a plan, I think. Everything happens for a reason. Um, I think just you have to stay like positive about stuff, even though it is really hard. I mean, I struggled a lot whenever I got waitlisted the first time. Um, but I think everything just kind of falls into place after a while. Like everything um will go according to God's way, and I think if it's right for you, then it's right, and it'll happen. Maybe not right now, but it'll happen later on, whenever it's the right time. So
Hey,
yeah.
come on, the right time. It's gonna happen right on time. Keep going. I love it. Nah, thank you so much
Mhm.
for just chiming in, for sharing your story here in the fitting room. Um, y'all, that was Isabel.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Real quick, y'all, just want to let y'all know this just took place. I ended up just I caved and I created a or I should say an Instagram account. And so if you're looking for new updates on podcasts, want to connect, want to hop on the podcast, just go to the new Instagram that we created. It is the Fitting Room 918. That's the area code, right?
Yeah.
918. I ain't got a number. I ain't got a 918 number yet. But anyways, the Fitting Room 918. Check it out, and I'll be posting just clips from these podcasts. We'll be posting people on there from the whatever. Y'all just stay connected. That's how we gonna do it.
Mhm.
And so, nonetheless, appreciate y'all for watching. I hope y'all have a wonderful day or night, depending upon when you're watching, when you're listening to this, because you're not really watching this. Anyways, I hope that you can see how you fit in the fitting room. Peace.